So our big vision is to see communities free from relational brokenness. And this hasn't always been the case for our vision. It's been our learning that sex trafficking is a symptom of a deeper rooted issue. And a lot of times there is relational brokenness we're talking about in all areas of trafficking, where you go from, you've got the trafficker who is selling a young girl for sex and profiting off of that. You have a sex buyer who's purchasing sex from this girl, and you have the girl herself. All three of these people have their own relational brokenness in their past. And so what we know is that relationships hurt, relationships heal. We want to come at it from the idea that across the board in our community, if we strengthen relationships, we can help end this issue. So my name is Lindsay Speed. I am the executive director at Traffick911. I've pretty much worn every hat in the organization as far as roles across the years, but I'm the executive director now and get to run the team and lead the team, and I love what I get to do. So Traffick911, we were founded in 2009, and we've always had the same mission, which is to free youth from sex trafficking. But our how has evolved across the years. But back in 2009, we started as really just a community of people who found out about this issue and were like, someone needs to do something. Back then, there really weren't many people talking about the issue of trafficking locally. A lot of discussion was on the issue globally. And so we started just as a local grassroots volunteer movement, really saying, someone needs to do something and we're gonna do it. And so in the early years, we were in juvenile detention centers across all these counties, doing our best, just teaching these girls what we've learned so far about how to stay safe from traffickers. We came across hundreds of girls and boys who would stop and tell us their story, and we would have to do something. You know, like, someone needs to do something. No one knows about this. And this is how we really began to learn their stories and really sit next to them and hear the brokenness, hear the abuse, hear what happened before they were trafficked that got them into that. Well-meaning people can hear about this issue and say, you know what, they just need a home and a bed and a Laura Ashley bedspread and Jesus and everything's gonna be fine. And that's not the case, you know, that's just not the case. It's a lot more complex than that. So we had this home and we thought that was the answer. But what we realized for us, our sweet spot was relationship that's not attached to a 3-step program, a building, a model, where these girls have to come to us to get blank. In 2015, the legislative session that passed, that really the state of Texas said something coordinated needs to be done for child sex trafficking victims. This is not just Child Protective Services problem. This is not law enforcement's problem. We need to come up with a plan for the state to really address this issue. And so they passed some legislation that included forming a team at the governor's office and having every child sex trafficking victim who's identified in Texas be paired with an advocate. And so this was this aha moment where I was like, what they put in legislation to initiate was what we had been doing for so many years in like an organic way of building relationships with these kids. I got to just dream about what would it look like if we weren't attached to these models or this safe home. And really what it is, what makes us unique is that our team is field-based. The program is our team. It's building relationships. We meet these youth where they are and we build relationship with them. And we're out in the field. We're coming out to you, whether that's in the hospital in the middle of the night, whether that's at the police station. Our team responds in 24/7 crisis. And that's super unique because not a lot of people are willing to just show up in the middle of the night into a lot of unknown. We get to just be there for them. And it's very organic and very beautiful and very messy, but it's everything. When someone supports Traffick911, they ensure that every child sex trafficking survivor here in North Texas gets a person. They get an advocate. When you support us, we get to show up. and we get to step in and say, hey, we're gonna be here for you. We're gonna bring groceries one day. We're gonna take you to the hospital. We're gonna help you get your first apartment, whatever that looks like. We're in it because you support what we do.